Hey everybody, today we're going to make a really delicious soup, and it's called enchilada soup. It's a lot like the taco soup, but it uses enchilada sauce instead, and it's just really good. And along with that, we're going to have cornbread, which a lady sent in a recipe, and she said it'll knock your socks off. So that will be in the next video. And all this is with the enchilada soup is just dumping everything in your crock pot and letting it go on low for about 4 hours, or high about 7 hours. And I'm going to do mine on low. So the recipe calls for chicken. I'm going to use hamburger meat because that's what I had, and in a way I just feel like I would enjoy it better. So anyway, we'll get into the video. So here's the crock pot, and I do use liners usually, if I remember, and I think that the liners have their pros and their cons, but whatever you want to do, feel comfortable with, is what you should do. So the first thing I'm going to put in is my hamburger meat, and I've started, when I can, using these reusable bags. I believe I found them on Facebook, an ad, but I really like them, and when you put them side by side in your freezer and stuff, they take up a lot less room, and they're easy to use. So I have about 1.5 pounds, I would say, I've already cooked this up, ground beef. And I bought one of those big long logs of ground beef, and that I cooked it all up, and that's what was part of it. And I forgot my spoon, so 1 second. Sorry about that. So let's break that up a little bit. And to that, you don't have to add this in any particular order, but I have a medium onion that I've diced up about medium size, not too big or too little. The recipe did not call for green pepper, but I had some I needed to use, so I thought I'd just go ahead and put it in here. And I'll get that out of the way. Add a little salt. Always remember, with your salt and pepper, you can always add more later, so try not to get heavy-handed with it if you don't think you'd like it. I'm going to add taco seasoning mix. It called for just cumin, but I think this would be better. So I'm going to add a nice healthy tablespoon, and probably just a little bit more because I like things real flavorful. And then I'm going to put some cilantro. I know everyone doesn't care for it, and if you don't, then don't put it in. This comes out quicker if you just take the lid off. So I put probably a good tablespoon of, or not tablespoon, but teaspoon of cilantro in there. And you know, I had done don't tell me, garlic. And I used all the last batch, and the other day I did 6 pounds of garlic, and this is some of that. So the recipe did call for garlic. So I'm using it, and it only called for like 3 cloves, but I'm using this little thing full, and I've mashed it up a little bit. And the garlic like this is so good. My sister had gotten some garlic, and she had just gotten the garlic a few days before my video came out about making garlic, or roasting it, as I call it. And so she tried it with hers and her garlic, and she really loved it. So if you get a chance to roast you some garlic, I think you'll enjoy it. She said she was just eating it out of the container that she put it in, and said it tasted like candy. So next I'm going to put 1 can of diced tomatoes. This happens to have basil, garlic, and oregano in it, but that is no problem. I'm going to put a little can of mild diced green chilies. If you want to use the hot, you know, go right ahead. I just can't stand the heat. And I don't know if I was in frame or not when I showed that, but this came from Aldi's. I'm going to add a big can of the enchilada sauce. It's 28 ounces, and it's also mild. I'm going to put a can of drained corn. I have 2 cans of kidney beans that I have drained and rinsed. I think they have a kind of like a slimy texture to them, so I normally rinse them. And then I made up some stock using this beef base. Since I'm doing hamburger or ground beef enchilada sauce, I used that and a couple cups of water, maybe 2.5, and just pour that in. And that is it. So I'm going to stir it up. And if you decide to use chicken in this, just use a chicken stock or a chicken base. So I'm going to just give this a little stir and just get everything incorporated. I'll put a lid on it and let it go about 7 hours, and we'll come back and give it a try. And during the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you back shortly. The enchilada soup is finished. I'm telling you, when you take the lid off of it, the smell is so good. And it looks really good. I will show you in the crock pot. That's what it looks like. I love that broth. As I told you, I believe I'm making cornbread to go with this, and I'll be using a lot of the cornbread, or my piece of cornbread, to soak up the broth, because it really is delicious. And so I'm going to put some in a bowl. That smell or aroma is just fantastic. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to give it a taste, but the other day I was tasting something, and it was so hot, and it was really hard to get it cool enough so I could taste it. And several of you mentioned taking a bite out beforehand and letting it cool, which was a fantastic idea. So that's what I have done. And I just put a little bit in here. And now we'll give it a taste. That is so good. Good. It's a lot like taco soup, except the enchilada sauce does make that difference. But that is so good. Sorry about my ice maker. I forgot to cut it off. But anyway, I hope that you give this a try. This taste is so good. You can freeze it if you need to. It freezes real well. It's a great crock pot meal. And the way the weather's been, you never know if it's going to be cold or hot or what. And you can just put this in your crock pot and several hours later have your meal. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. But, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I let it cook about 7 hours. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.